A key witness in the Diddy trial has gone missing. This is super concerning because she is crucial for the case against one of the biggest names in music. She was actually going under a pseudonym like 3 other witnesses in the case, but she decided to waive that right and reveal her identity in her testimony. But now she's MIA. The federal prosecutors don't know where she is, her lawyers don't know where she is, and the prosecutors are using her testimony in the opening statement on May 12th. That's not that far away. For now, she's known as Victim 3, and she was subpoenaed, which means that she is required to...
It turns out that Ally Carter wasn't just revealing all the secrets about what Diddy and his team had been doing behind closed doors for years. She was actually supposed to be a key witness in Diddy's trial. She had been subpoenaed, which means the court officially asked her to appear and testify. But in a shocking turn of events, just as the trial was about to begin, Ally vanished without a trace. No one, not her family, not her lawyers, not even her closest friends knows where she is. She simply disappeared. To make the situation even more concerning, a voice message Ally had sent to a close friend was discovered just 1 day before the trial started. This message included some extremely disturbing information about a woman who had been working behind the scenes to protect Diddy for years. This woman, named Christina Cororo, had allegedly played a major role in helping him get away with his crimes.
She was able to escape eventually and ran out into the streets yelling and screaming, and a neighbor heard her because this happened in a quiet suburban neighborhood, if you will.
So there's a witness?
Yes, we have a witness because as she's running out the house yelling, a neighbor...
Interestingly, Diddy had already mentioned Christina in the past. Back in 2021, he made a post on Facebook where he introduced her to the world. He wrote, "Meet Christina Cororo, Chief of Staff at Comms Enterprises. Ena Akake KK. She keeps everything in my life and business running smoothly. She's been my right hand for 8 years and always gets the job done. I don't know how I'd function without her." At the time, no one thought much of it. Most people assumed she was just a loyal employee. No one suspected that she might be involved in covering up serious crimes. But now, after all these recent revelations, that old post looks a lot more suspicious. Christina's name has come up in several lawsuits, accusing Diddy of serious offenses, but she stayed quiet for a long time. Then, just a few days ago, she finally released a public statement. In it, she said, "For months, terrible things have been said about me in lawsuits connected to my former boss. These lies are damaging my reputation and hurting me and my family emotionally. I have never helped or supported any kind of abuse, nor have I harmed anyone. The thought that I could be accused of being involved in something like that is deeply upsetting. That's not who I am. I feel for all the victims of sexual assault, and I believe that the truth will prove I'm innocent." However, most people didn't believe her, and they had good reason not to.
You get pressured, attacked, stalked, and hunted down for your own information. You get abused and re-victimized again by people who wanted to argue a back and forth this week like that f***ing mattered. Okay, you had Stu Peters and Timothy Charles Homestead going back and forth, and nobody has even bothered. Not that I give a damn, and not that I understand that you guys are gonna be that selfish, but nobody has bothered to apologize for all the hell that has happened. But you guys were arguing back and forth, and in that meantime, we lost our home. You don't believe me? Here you go. What once was a full house, we were still paying rent on our house. What we were doing this whole time was moving everything because our house is gone. Our house is gone. This is the speaking out. What was our beautiful 3-bedroom acre home on 21225 Standing Rock Avenue, because everybody has the address, because organizations that were attached to Marks, Sawyer, and many other organizations decided to put out the address, my license plate to one of my cars, and many other of my... So here you go. You can have it, right? Because this is what happens when you speak out. This is what happens when you tell all the truth. This is what happens when you decided to stand up for the children, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to do a seminar, and when you understand that survivors don't just get to just be and then show up somewhere and talk and monetize everything that they're saying. When you realize that that's bullshit, then you will understand. Look at the tactics and pay attention. Pay attention. I'm still not asking you for a damn thing but to wake up. I'm not asking you for a damn thing but just to get outside. I don't give a damn about money, numbers on my platforms. You can have all of it. You took everything. The only thing that I give a shit about right now is the fact that there is a baby in the way. There's babies in the way. There are people that I love that I can't get out of the way. What am I supposed to do when the people in the authority that you're supposed to go to, you can't go?
As mentioned earlier, Christina has been named in more lawsuits than we can even count. It's hard to ignore the fact that she keeps showing up in these stories. The pattern is clear, and without her help, Diddy might have been caught a long time ago. She played a critical role in helping him operate without fear of getting caught. In fact, that Facebook post where Diddy said he couldn't function without her was likely more telling than anyone realized at the time. Christina wasn't just a behind-the-scenes assistant. She was allegedly the one making sure everything stayed hidden and covered up. Her name first appeared in legal documents when music producer Lil Rod filed a sexual assault lawsuit against Diddy. In that lawsuit, Lil Rod compared Christina to Ghislaine Maxwell, who was famously accused of helping Jeffrey Epstein carry out his crimes. Lil Rod claimed that when Diddy started making unwanted advances toward him and behaving inappropriately, he confided in Christina. He believed she might help him. Instead, she brushed it off. According to Lil Rod, Christina told him, "You know CN will be seen," and tried to downplay Diddy's actions by calling them friendly horseplay. She allegedly told him that this was just Diddy's way of showing affection. But it wasn't just her words that made things worse. Lil Rod also claimed that Christina managed every detail of Diddy's personal life. That included hiring sex workers for him and making sure all his employees carried fanny packs full of illegal drugs like codeine and GHB. But that wasn't the only lawsuit where Christina was named. Another one came from Phil Pines, a former senior executive who worked with Diddy. Phil accused Diddy of both physical violence and emotional abuse. According to Phil, he once saw Diddy kick a woman to the ground outside his home. Before doing it, Diddy reportedly told the woman, "I told you I was crazy," and then kicked her in the stomach. After that, he demanded that she take off her sweatshirt and go topless. The entire scene was horrifying for Phil, who was left in shock. But instead of helping the woman or reporting what happened, Christina allegedly stepped in again. She told Phil never to speak about what he saw and warned him that there would be consequences if he did. That moment clearly stayed with Phil for a long time, as he later spoke about it in his legal filings. But it didn't stop there. Phil also claimed that Christina helped Diddy organize wild parties he called freak-offs, or Wild King Nights. These parties, according to him, would last for days and involved multiple men and women engaging in disturbing behavior. Christina allegedly handled everything from booking the hotel rooms to stocking them with baby oil, lube, male enhancement pills, emergency contraceptives, candles, mood lighting, and various adult toys. All of this was done to cater to Diddy's preferences and to keep these events going smoothly. Then came another lawsuit filed by a woman in San Francisco in October of last year. This lawsuit was particularly shocking and was the one that finally pushed Christina to make her public denial. The woman claimed that she first came into contact with Diddy in 2018 through a FaceTime call. A man she met outside a bar called Diddy to show off that he knew someone famous. During the call, the woman jokingly mentioned the rumor that Diddy was involved in Tupac's death. Diddy didn't take the joke lightly. She claimed he became angry and told her she would pay for making that comment. A few days later, the same man invited her to his house under the pretense that he needed help with his cancer medication. When she arrived, she said Diddy, Christina, and several other people were there waiting. According to her, she was then trapped in the house and assaulted in horrific ways. Diddy allegedly held a knife to her face and threatened to give her a Glasgow smile, which means slashing the sides of someone's mouth. She said Diddy hit her with a remote control, then ordered another man to assault her while he watched. He also reportedly told 4 other people in his crew to do the same. Throughout this horrifying ordeal, Christina was allegedly present, watching everything happen. Once it was over, Christina gave the woman an unknown pill, and then more abuse continued. The victim eventually managed to escape during one of the attacks. She ran out of the house screaming for help, and a neighbor let her in and called the police. But even though she filed a police report, nothing was done. That's because, according to several victims, Diddy had connections and often paid people off, including law enforcement, to stay quiet or look the other way. This same pattern of silence and cover-ups is why it took someone as well known as Cassie to finally file a lawsuit that led to real consequences. Then, in the early part of this year, yet another lawsuit came forward. This time, it was from a rising music artist named Seven Grizzle. She claimed that she was supposed to be mentored by Diddy, but instead, she was assaulted. In her lawsuit, she said that during one of their first meetings, Diddy forced her to perform a sexual act, even though she clearly said no. The lawsuit described how he ignored her refusal and did what he wanted anyway. Throughout all these stories and lawsuits, one name kept popping up: Ally Carter. She had been openly speaking out about Diddy's behavior for a long time. Everything that these new lawsuits described, Ally had already talked about. She warned people about it, and now all the pieces were falling into place. But just when she was supposed to testify in court, she vanished. Right before her disappearance, Ally went on a live stream, crying and shaking as she spoke to her followers. She said she feared for her life and for her family's safety. According to her, armed men had broken into her house and destroyed everything. She believed they had been sent to silence her. During the live video, she even named people she believed were behind the attack. These people, she said, had also leaked her personal information online, including her address, which put her in even more danger. Her fear was real, and her warning felt urgent. And then, just like that, she was gone. Now, people are asking tough questions. What really happened to Ally Carter? Who's responsible for her disappearance? Why hasn't there been more public attention or police action? And why are so many of the people accused of these awful things still walking free? The deeper people look into this situation, the more disturbing it becomes. It's not just about one man's actions. It's about a whole system of people who helped him, protected him, and kept everything hidden for years. Christina Kororo was allegedly one of the most important people in making sure none of it came to light until now. As these lawsuits keep piling up and more victims come forward, the truth is starting to break through, but there are still many questions left unanswered. One thing is clear: without people like Ally Carter bravely speaking out, we might never have known what was really going on behind the scenes. Now, the world is watching and waiting, hoping for justice, for answers, and for all the voices that were silenced to finally be heard. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.